Hello once again, welcome to another edition of Top 10 Worst Ofs, the best of worst of lists in the entirety of the English-speaking world. I'm your host for what I feel is going to be an absolutely wonderful episode. My name is Watson Herbush, and like I said, today's Top 10 Worst Of is something special. It's top 10 worst Xmas gifts following the AI cybernetic robot apocalypse. Okay? It's coming any day now. We all know. We all seen the little dribs and drabs, the clips of the attack robots. They're already fighting on the front lines in the Ukraine war with Russia. They've got in China, they got these freaking AI cybernetic robots running half marathons and stuff. We don't have a turd in a toilet bowl's chance of surviving this freaking onslaught that's on the billionaires' wish list. Right at the top. Getting rid of us. It'd be a real feather in their cap. They'd stick in their thumb and pull out a plum. What is it? We can finally exterminate the human race because we've got some other means of being able to create wealth and luxury items so that we can have fantastic dynamic lives. And now, on top of it, bully for us, we can send AI cybernetic robot astronauts out into space and conquer the freaking universe. You know, and that, they don't have to give them oxygen, they don't have to give them food or anything like that. Just put them in a tin can with a rocket strapped to the back of it and just launch it over to Mars, and 2 weeks later you got yourself, a habitat. Habitat for inhumanity. That's what they should call it. Goddamn thing. All right, so anyway, so we're going to, it's like, talking about Mad Max, except where you have all the sort of terrorizing of these gangs in the middle of these desert wastelands. You just have death. Death will be nearly everywhere of human people. There's no freaking way they're going to pay 8 billion separate universal basic income checks to each of us just to have us sitting around doing nothing. Don't fool yourself, man. Don't fool yourself. Before we get to that, though, just a couple of things to kind of just make sure we get the record straight, that we're all dealing, from equal vantage points, comparing apples to apples and stuff like that. Number one, I am not, what most people in society would consider to be normal. And it's not my fault. I'm fine. It's society's that's got the problem. Society's all messed up. They've been, abused for so long, exploited, had their brains washed so much that they've, there's nothing left to have the little dust particles or whatever it is that operates in our brains for us to remember things or to carry out higher functions. Those particles are all washed away. They've all been bleached out over years and years of, just being bombarded with toxins. And, there's only so much brainwashing that people do before the brain is just completely squeaky clean. And that includes the little bits and pieces that enable us to be able to use the brain. Those will be cleaned up as well. And have been in many cases. So, not my fault if I'm sort of expanding your referential knowledge or asking you to get on board for the big win, get out of the way of the senseless, pervasive holocaust that they're going to unleash on the human race any minute now. Or at least, make a decent enough showing for yourselves. Just saying they gave up the ghost a long time ago and allowed these maniacal sociopaths to, get in charge and gave them $1 trillion a year to build these weapons that they could never overcome. But at the end, at least they had their final hours on planet Earth. They equated themselves a little better. But I don't really think that people are going to really pay much attention to that over the next kind of half hour-ish that we're going to be spending on this episode. But what you will be paying attention to is the amount of sort of like, seemingly a break with reality that I might have embarked upon at some point many years ago. But here's the thing. If I mention some things on this episode that you're just not down with, or you don't feel safe about, or secure about, or don't agree with, or whatever like that, look it up for yourself, you freaking lazy bum. What do you expect everybody to do all the lifting for you all the time? Is at some point, are you going to take not just advantage, sort of live up to the responsibility of what you have to do on a day-to-day basis to feed yourself, your family, or those that you committed to, ushering into this world? AKA your children, who you probably have been abusing on an ongoing basis for their entire lives through either neglect or sexual abuse or mental abuse and anguish, or just detaching yourself from them so you can get enough time with the side piece that makes you feel a little bit more human somehow within yourself, and you couldn't care less about any of the other people that you're responsible for, that you're committed to, whatever it is. God, whatever you're going to have with something that you got a complaint about me, just go look in the mirror and see if you're not guilty of it for yourself. If you don't believe that the things that I'm saying are for real or honest, just freaking goddamn look it up for once, you stupid freaking rubber stamping jerk off. And the next thing is I'm not down with your little stupid hate monger game of teaching people how to hate, whether it's partisanship, or whether it is some people like Duck Dynasty and other people like Downton Abbey. I don't care what you like. It's all stupid. It's all throwaway garbage that's taught you how to be oblivious to the world around you. Detach, not get involved, not get engaged, not get your hands dirty, and do something for once to try to make a difference in this world that means something to yourself and to others around you who are still worth caring about, even though you aren't. See there. All right, so we're going to go on from there. Before I get into, a lot of people are sending a lot of sort of nasty messages to me. I don't know why, saying that we don't believe that these top 10 worst of lists have been clinically prepared in a pristine scientific crucible, and they have cast aspersions upon me and suggest that I have been doing these things willy-nilly without with malice and something with malice and forethought. I don't know what the thing is. But they're accusing me of these things. I'm making it up as I go on the fly. I'm sorry. You're wrong again. Wrongo. That's ever since this entire episode started, you've been nothing but wrong. And in a lot of different ways. It's really starting to piss me off. So get your act together. If you're going to keep watching this episode, God damn it, you better keep up. But I have these top 10 lists are put together by a fascinating squad of former Heisman Trophy winners who gathered together with me outside the thing in Toronto, the big giant tea kettle thing, was the thing, the big spire that they built, the Toronto Dome. I don't know what the hell it is, and take copious doses of dentine chewing gum mixed with adrenochrome and come up with these top 10 lists. And we also have sponsors I need to get to before we indulge in today's top 10 worst of lists. Today's sponsors include from the producers of Hunchback of Notre Dame. Now comes the Hatchback of Notre Dame. This delightful 5-door utilitarian vehicle is now available with sanctuary seating and 5-speed automatic transmission. It's the Hatchback of Notre Dame. And for those of you into sports, in addition to the hatchback of Notre Dame comes the halfback of Notre Dame. Wear and be wonderful. The halfback of Notre Dame. And then from the producers of the finally, after 60 years or whatever, the sequel to Lawrence of Arabia has come out. And no, it's not going to be what everybody thinks is going to be. I mean, how dare you, okay, think that I'm such, my mind in the gutter all the time. No, it's not going to be Lawrence of Arabia. It's going to be Warrants of Arabia, where they serve warrants to people in Arabia. You got the guy, it's document server, process server. In Arabia, it's Warrants of Arabia. Even funnier than anything that you might have expected from a show like this. And from the producers of Will and Grace comes Will and Grease. I don't even know where to go with that one. Will and Grease. He's like, is he from Greece or is he got Greece? Or I don't really know. I should have beta tested that one a little bit more. Lord of the Teething Rings coming up. You can't miss it. I mean, you cannot miss it. If you miss it, you're in serious trouble, mister. Roger. Oh, this is a good one from the latest Broadway musical masterpiece from the people who brought you South Pacific and My Fair Lady. It's Rogers and MC Hammerstein. It's Hammer Time. So you get like, some enchanted Hammer Time. Ziploc condoms. Does that do anything for you? This is never a funny segment in this, but this one is particularly poor. Addams Family Feud. Addams Family Feud. Whatever. All right, let's just get out with it. So embarrassing. All right, so anyway, top 10 worst Christmas gifts following the AI cybernetic robot apocalypse. So the robots, the AI robots have already started to replace the human beings. God, what's wrong with my hair? The humidity is just completely turning my hair into a cesspool of irrevocable hate and dismissive collapse. It's more. Oh, there we go. Now we're talking. There's some hair. There we go. That's a good hair right there. But it'll collapse, you'll see. I mean, it's so freaking humid. So the AI cybernetic robots are going to show up. They're going to destroy all the human beings, or most of them. They'll keep my guess is that it'll keep maybe 3%, maybe something like that. They're going to need human farms for harvesting vital organs for the robber barons, who will still be alive, in control of everything, in their luxury bunkers. And then I think they're going to have, it's like Hunger Game types of things that they can showcase. And they're going to need to groom themselves some underage child brides, as it were, to kind of try to keep it somewhat, above board here. And they're going to need, I think, probably to vary up the gene pool every so often. So they can actually be able to wipe all of the human beings out all at once, unless they have some technology that I'm not aware of, where they can create the same sort of buzz that they get for watching children have sex with each other, or human beings slaughtering each other, and get that same sort of adrenaline rush that the robber barons get for watching those horrific elements of their entertainment choices alive and well. They're going to have to keep some real humans around. I'm guessing farms. They'll probably be treated okay. The rest of us, it's get the old Zots. Double X's on the someone's whatever it is. They're going to have to bump us off. Yes. All right, so, but, there'll be an interim time. as they round us all up into the cattle cars and send us off to some place where they can dose us with. I'm thinking that they're going to do like COVID was a beta test for all this stuff to exterminate the human race. So they're going to take us down to some out of the way place, and they'll just create these open air gas chambers, unleash these viruses on us, and then we'll drop dead, and that'll be it. But it's going to take a while to get it all done, and there won't be any, possibilities for our escape or survival. But we'll have to carry on life for a little while they're, finishing us all off. I'm thinking about 3 to 5 years. And in that time, we'll still have all the regular stuff. We'll still have like Arbor Day. And we'll still have parent-teacher conferences. And we'll still have gang violence, and we've seen this all. Well, Mad Max will be basically like a documentary. So we'll still have Christmas, and it'll be. I mean, it's going to change a lot. Where people are going to be like, perhaps less forgiving from their fellow man, and so so I think that our team has done a great job at trying to figure out what the worst of those Christmas gifts would look like. The top 10 worst of them. Number 10, top 10 worst Christmas gifts following the cybernetic robot apocalypse. Dog food. Okay? Dog food. Look, dog food's going to be a delicacy. It's like we're going to get dog food on a cracker for us during the years that it will take for the robots to finish the human race off completely. Is going to be like petit fours or foie gras to us, to our palate, our sensitive palate. It's going to be like dog food on a cracker. Oh my God, they'll be killing people. They'll be killing people for dog food on a cracker. Killing people for the dog food and either component. Oh my God, you got a cracker? I'll kill you. Kill you. Give me your freaking cracker. I'll kill you. And that's going to be the way life's going to be, man. And you're going to be like, wow, all those times that I marched around in a circle, I did it 3 times for New Kings. 3 times I marched around in the circle for a couple hours with a cutesy sign. And you're going to be like, why didn't I do more? Why didn't I do something that meant something? Instead of just walking around like, oh, look at my cutesy sign. I got a picture. I saw this lady. And God love them, like people are trying their best to keep some sense of humanity in the face of all this torture and exploitation. She's walking around and she's got a sign that says, I'm a Fruit Loop, not a Cheerio. And it was a gay pride event. And I don't think that they felt like, I don't think they thought it through. I mean, because, if you think about it, Fruit Loops are like really horrible for you. There's artificial flavoring, artificial coloring, 99% sugar, and probably a ton of corn syrup and bad things. And Cheerios are like, super healthy. It's one of the low salt, low, this and that, the other thing, high fiber. Cheerios are healthy. And I'm looking at the sign like, oh, lady, what are you saying about yourself? That you're like this sugary mess? Fruit Loops are so bad for you. And you know what? If you're not 10 and you still like Fruit Loops, it's something wrong with you. Unless you're stoned out of your gourd and it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and in which case all bets are off. Give me some freaking Captain Crunch. But I'm a Fruit Loop, not a Cheerio. It's supposed to be. We're supposed to look at them like going like, this is what you're bragging about? That you're a sugary, disposable, fat-inducing nightmare to your body instead of something healthy and balanced, part of your balanced breakfast? I just don't get it. But I'll tell you one thing. I'll freaking kill you over a box of Fruit Loops after the robot apocalypse. I will make you wish you'd never been born. I already wish that I've never been born just about every minute, every waking minute of every day. If you're not wishing out there somewhere that you were never born, at some point during your busy day, then you're lying about something and you need a meds adjustment. We all need a meds adjustment, probably on a day-to-day basis, like, sort of little tweakage going on here. But, anyway, AI apocalypse robot, I'm the Fruit Loop, not a Cheerio. Good luck with that, lady. All right, number 9, the top 10 worst Christmas gifts following the cybernetic robot apocalypse. Health insurance gift cards. Now, this is something that I think we should probably have anyway already. I mean, what are people thinking about, giving you a gift card for the holidays to Patagonia or Kohl's or Amazon? No, we should already be way past that. Health insurance gift cards, dental coverage gift cards. Oh my God, where is that? Where's dental coverage gift cards? Oh my God, and I don't know, coupons to get colonoscopies, discount, coupons or what's those things that you get with the thing where you're traveling dollars things? You get traveling dollars for, if you need to get a quickie colonoscopy while you're traveling through Europe. The things with the dollars. Do you know what I'm talking about? Jesus Christ. Do I have to do everything around here? Traveler's checks. Jesus. Is that really that hard for you to figure? Jesus. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm starting to really feel like this is a one-way street where I'm giving over and over again, and you just sit there like freaking greasy chemical toxins on the inside of a door handle that gives you chronic diseases for the rest of your life that you discover after a warrantless home invasion. Number 8 of the top 10 worst Christmas gifts following a cybernetic robot apocalypse. Democratic politician who's not a worthless cuck for the right wing. Oh, that ain't gonna happen. Lie down, you can dream better. Oh my God, what happened to me? Where am I? Don't let that happen again, Daddy. Yeah, I mean, are there any more Democratic politicians? Let's think of the Democratic politicians people have the most respect for, and take a real close look. Obama, I guess, is the number one guy still. He had 2 years where he gave us a Social Security tax holiday, which wound up putting about $3 in our net checks for 2 years, but wound up giving the billionaires, corporations, box stores, and all that kind of stuff, billions of dollars worth of tax rebates, because all these big giant box stores that have thousands and thousands of employees have to pay dollar for dollar matching for everything that we have taken out of our checks for Social Security, which not a lot of people really know or care to know. That's why I have a big, little surprise. It's hidden right now because I don't want to get any demerits against my account. But I had one for you. It was steep, ready to go steep and deep on you at any time you want. Because you just don't know, and everybody else has to suffer because of your ignorance. It's not just you, where you're thinking oh, well, I can take the next 20 years off for my brain and not think about anything that's going on in the world around me. I don't like to watch the news because it's so depressing. Oh, it's so depressing. I want you to be hurt. I want everybody around me to be hurt. I won't take any vaccines or get any vaccines for my kids because I want people to suffer from freaking polio. I want people to suffer from measles and die and suffer and don't have any freaking ability to be able to walk. I want to put them all in iron lungs. I want children in iron lungs, and I want them to suffer like I suffer every day being alive, having to take care of all these kids and this lousy wife and this lousy mortgage and show it to my work where I'm tortured every freaking day. I want you all to suffer the way I suffer. Good luck with that. So Obama gives, for 2 years, he gives all these tax incentives to all these, billionaire box stores and all that kind of stuff by making it so they got 2% reduction in the amount of Social Security tax that they had to pay. Billions of dollars. I did a little quick math thing. By my math, 11 years worth of Social Security solvency is what we lost when he decided to do that. And what did he really do? Right? Did he prosecute all the neocons for lying our way into the war in Iraq, where 1 million innocent civilians died? And nobody protested that, did they? Because there weren't any Jews involved with the Iraq war, so why bother? That must be fine. The only thing that they want to protest is when they can kill some Jews. To be honest, that's what it is. It's the 100% of why people are protesting the Gaza war. Saying the Israelis are in charge of everything like that. No, they aren't. It's a bunch of proxies that we have fighting so that they can justify the amount of money that they're sucking away from our taxes. $1 trillion every year to build the American Wehrmacht. There's nothing to do with Jews or Arabs or anything like that. The freaking Jews and the Iranians were trading under the table for weapons back during the Iran-Iraq war, and that's what Iran-Contra was. We'd raise the money by selling crack on the streets of the United States, take that money, buy weapons, give it to the Israelis. The Israelis would sell it under the table to Iran because we weren't allowed to by law. And so the Iranians and the Israelis were publicly saying that they hate each other, want to annihilate each other completely off the face of the earth. In the meantime, in some back room, are sitting around like bartering for how much they're going to sell Stinger missiles to each other for. And it's not even just like it's where they're just having inconsequential, informal talks to try to, overcome their differences. They're actually dealing arms. The Israelis are dealing arms to Iran. So don't believe any of this hype. All this stupidity that you shovel down your throat every goddamn day is just naivete. It's not, you're not smart. You don't have it figured out at all. Nobody's got it figured out. Even me with my intellectual prowess and intellectual acuity, finely honed brains that I've got, doesn't have it figured out. Nobody has, and it's how it is. We don't have any access to the objective truth, and that's part of the torture of it all. It's part of why it works so well to keep us in place, because nobody knows where to point the finger. I'll point a finger at you. God damn it. So Obama, nicer guy certainly than some of the other guys we've had, but he's hugging and palling around with Bush Jr., who was the guy whose team created all those lies and wiped 1 million people off the face of planet Earth. And you're just like, oh, okay, well, Bush Jr., thank God we've got a rational Republican that everybody misses and everything like that. They're making movies to make Dick Cheney look like a heroic human being. The guy was a pathetic, pathological monster. And Hollywood's dressing him up like he's an actual normal person. He's got kids, he's got a wife, and he's got concerns that are, somewhat misguided, but patriotic ultimately. No. He got the job at Halliburton in 1995, so they knew that the Iraq War was coming. They knew that 9/11 was going to happen, because what did he do when he got the job at Halliburton? He goes out and buys KBR and makes Halliburton the one company that was able to present a no-bids contract for all the support services for the U.S. Army and the prosecuting of the Middle East wars that we had and the Asian wars that we had following 9/11. Wake up, dumbass, jerk off. You're making everybody suffer because you're not engaging enough in the world around you. This is not difficult thing. These aren't difficult, shadowy things that you need real hardcore brain book smarts to be able to discern. This is all basic fifth grader stuff. And fifth grader is the max of the average reading level that people in the United States have been determined to have. So it should be right in your wheelhouse, you stupid fifth grader. And then who is Democrats? All the Democrats of Chicago, and I think all the other blue cities pretty much as well, selling out all the assets from out from under the people of those cities to shady LLC billionaire corporations for pennies on the dollar, and then putting up all these speed cameras and red light cameras and in poor areas and ramping up the amount that people owe of a double, triple it, or whatever the hell it is, within hours of hitting them with these impossible tickets. They could ruin their lives in a day. Ruin their lives in a day. Now, I know that, there's people around will say, like, oh, well, we need to have these freaking bike lanes and everything like that because people with bikes, their lives are in danger. All of a sudden, they haven't been in danger that much for the last 100 years, but we don't want to talk about that. But now they're super in danger and need to spend billions on it, even though we don't have billions. I spend the billions on it now. Where's the spend the billions on it? Again, a dummy. I'm talking to dummies here. Why are you falling for their malarkey? Is it because NPR is on board and they can sort of cover their asses by creating stories that advocate and confirm the assertions by the politicos and stuff like that? Because their mouth is buried so deep in these phony baloney politicians' asses that they just love the taste of it. They can't get enough of it. They need more ass to mouth snacks in between meals. Don't forget to floss. Cucks for the right wing. That's all we've got. Wake up. It's already too late, but at least you can freaking wake up and say goodbye to our tattered lives. That's why things never get better. They didn't make the bad people better. They made the good people worse. And now we've got nothing. Number 7 of the top 10 worst Christmas gifts following the AI cybernetic robotic apocalypses. Number 7, human litter boxes. Now that's going to be a fashionable gift. It'd be seen as a big, thick 2-pound box of non-biodegradable kitty litter. And you can pick it up and shake it. Oh, I know what this is. And wrap it as like the human litter box. And you'll be like, oh, it's just what I wanted. Thank you. And then you can unload into these human litter boxes because there won't be any plumbing anymore. They won't be able to do any distillation of wastewaters and gray waters, and that'll just be over with. So the human litter boxes. But hey, look, you know what? You've had decades upon decades of ramping up. God damn it. Jesus Christ, it's stupid. Decades and decades of ramping up the amount of recreational pets that you've got, including recreational cats. While these people who own these cats are like, oh, I'm like so incredibly wonderful and God's gift to human waste and resource management that I'll use paper bags on my way home from the grocery stores. Even though they cost 10 times as much to ship because they're 10 times as bulky and heavier than the plastic bags, coated with layers upon layers of chemicals to make them strong enough to be able to carry canned goods inside of. Again, signs of dummies are everywhere. And how you've been taking it up the yin-yang for these cucks. Like you love it. Like you love being exploited and made to look like a jerk off. Not made to look like a jerk off. Being revealed to be the jerk off that you are. I'm sorry, not sorry. But all you cat lovers and everything like that have been putting billions upon billions of non-biodegradable urine and feces laced kitty litter dumps in giant thick plastic bags for decades upon decades, and then pretending that you're told, well, I take a canvas bag to the freaking grocery stores, so don't you casting aspersions against me, you stupid, fat, hairy, bizarro freak. Sorry, buddy, but, don't get all upset with me because I decided to try to be a little bit more responsible. I don't have an easy life. I don't have anybody that I can talk to. All the stuff that I've been going through here, each and every line item on each one of these lists that I've been doing for, 100 episodes now, is grounds for dismissal for being able to talk to anybody. You think it's great? There's, on the right, you've got people who want to just murder people because they're not waspy pasty, jerk off, brainless crypto Nazis. On the other side, on the lefty side, you've got people who think that it's environmentally sane to buy vinyl records, giant thick paper bags, and kitty litter, and then call yourself a responsible environmental citizen. Number 6 of the top 10 worst I'm just tired of reading that freaking title. An eyedropper full of fresh water. Yummy. This much water. It'd be like, in the movie, what's that thingy? They got the movie thing. Waterworld with Tex Ranger, or whatever is that guy named? It's Rex Reed. William Sutherland. Kevin Costner. They got him with the thing in the water world, and he turns his urines in the first scene, turns his urines into tap water. I mean, that'd be like, in the apocalypse we've got coming, drinking your own urines would be like a Chateau Lafite, 1914. Oh, monsieur has chosen a fine bottle for yourselves, messieurs. Monsieur, c'est QC. Oh yeah, the Mouton Cadet, 1983. Oh, monsieur, you hit a good one. No, an eyedropper full of fresh water would come at a high premium in the apocalypse that we're facing. Number 5 of the top 10 worst Xmas gifts following the AI cybernetic robot apocalypse. A functioning nail clipper. Oh my God, yes. Those are going to be, walking around like, praying that you come across a pumice stone. Something like that. Oh, dear Lord, a pumice stone. You get all those chills coming up. But a freaking functioning nail clipper? Are you kidding me? That was 3 liters of petrol, a lime, and trade, and a small bucket of arable soil for a functioning nail clipper. I mean, it's, we're talking like billions of dollars. Ooh, what's wrong with my eye? Do I have the pink eyes? Could be. I haven't been getting a lot of sleep lately. But it could be the pink eyes. The pink eyes! Well, keep an eye on that. And if it gets worse during the balance of the episode, let me know. Number 4, the top 10 worst apocalypse now Christmas gifts. A 5-star rating on Death Uber. That's right. They don't have Ubers anymore. It'll be Death Ubers, where you're lucky to survive after your ride. They come after you, try to kill you for the meat. Death Ubers, and you give 5-star rating. It'd be worth a lot because 5-star rating could save your ass if you don't have any normals. Foodstuffs. Cannibalism's going to be like, hey, look, I talk about this every so often. Like the people in Stalingrad during World War II, when the siege of Stalingrad, 2.5 years, the city of Stalingrad was under siege. People were eating strips off their own legs and ass. Now, a person like me could probably feed off their own ass for a considerable amount of time, for a number of months. But, in the harsh environment of the Death Uber era, it's going to be like a pack of wild dingoes every time a carcass of any type, human or otherwise, when the scent gets in the air, people are going to be more like wild animals than humans, the remaining ones, and they pounce on you like a pack of dingoes. And you might get your own ass all clawed up and tore up and gobbled. Number 3, the top 10 worst Christmas gifts following a robot apocalypse. Sharpened stick. Yes, a sharpened stick. Those could go for premium too. There's a lot of areas where they're going to deforesting. It's going to be a big problem. We're selling off all the forests now. Who's going to be there to replant all the forests in the post-apocalyptic? Robots won't need them. They'll have enough to be able to control, any sort of water issues that they've got. Once, it's just so much of this whole global warming, climate change, and all that kind of stuff thing is going to go away the minute they start murdering off billions of people at a time. It'll just be, I don't know. I'm guessing they'll probably be going initially at a clip of about 2 to 3 billion a year over the first couple of years. And then, just, killing the rest of them off in dribs and drabs for as long as it takes after that. But there's not going to be any, sort of need to do a lot of the things that trees were kept around for. Like the AI cybernetic robots don't need to wipe their asses. Certainly not with toilet paper. So they won't need it for that. And they won't have, a lot. I don't think they'll have a lot of muss and fuss types of clean spills and whatnot. They'll need the quicker picker upper for. So you're not going to need a lot of that. You're not going to need any newspapers at all anymore, or books, or any of the types of things that we use for papers, or album covers, any of the types of things that we use cardboard or paper for. It's just going to all go away. So they won't need to reforest or anything like that. So a sharpened stick is going to be in, pretty, few and far between. And it might come in handy. You're going after a rat, or, because the wild animals are probably a lot better go of it than human beings. I doubt whether the wild animals will be, they'll probably design a cherry pick type of kill elements within the virus that they give us to wipe out the human race. They'll probably try to keep as many animals around as they can. I mean, they'll balance it all out. They'll have a formula for what works. And so there's going to need a sharpened stick. Some of those wild animals come at you, you're going to be, up a lazy river without a you-know-what. Number 2 of the top 10 worst ex-capitalists cybernetic robot apocalypse. A 1-year-long subscription to the Great Humongous Fan Club. Leave the gas and walk away. I am the Great Humongous. Leave the gas and walk away. I used to do such a better Great Humongous. I apologize for the enfeebled Humongous that I put together here. I used to know a lot of the whole speeches and stuff like that. Not anymore. It's been a while. That's one of those movies I don't give a whole lot of rotation to on the streaming sites. And finally, top 10 worst Christmas gift following the AI cybernetic robot apocalypse. Number 1 is Joni Mitchell's Blue album on vinyl in mint condition. The people will all be the hipsters will be walking vinyl records need vinyl for optimal listening experience. Well, anyway, that's all the time we got for Top 10 Worst Ofs. Today, I trust that you've had as much fun and been as enlightened as I have doing the research of this stuff. It's just such an incredible time for all of us right now. So challenged. Everything like that. Tune in again next week when Top 10 Worst Ofs. This is going to be a good one. Top 10 Worst Recreational Uses for Stem Cells. Boy, you're not going to want to miss a minute of that one. Come on again back sometime soon for more of Top 10 11 lists.